Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Forged Irish Stout, Empire Fight Store, freebets.com, and everything else. We're with Dave Coldwell. Dave, always a pleasure to catch up with you. Here now, I know you've got Young Charge, Dan Howard on the card, comes with a decorated amateur background. He had an explosive debut, and now your hands on him, so adding him to your stable at the minute. How pleased are you that he's managed to come along, join your gym, and that you be a part of this, because he's a very talented young kid, isn't he?
I'm over the moon with him. He's slotted into the gym fantastically well. He comes from an outstanding amateur setup, if not the one of the best that has been for a long time in the country. His experience in that in the amateur game. Now it's just about him getting grounded into the pro game, settling in, sparring with pros, and then having fights and being comfortable under the lights of the TV cameras and things like that. But gym-wise, he's settled in really, really well. He knows Ellis Price really well. I believe the room together and things like that in the amateurs on the GB setup. He's setting really, really good.
One thing that we always used to speak about when we used to have chats about. More recently Stephen Cairns, but also Hopi Price, was the mentality and how they are. Do you see a similar mentality in this kid now? Obviously, when you come from that amateur stock, there is that pressure of, I've got to prove something here, because I've come with this big build-up. Like, I know the press conference that Dan had at the time, they were waxing lyrical about him. I've had that conversation with him, and it must have felt like a weight off his shoulders getting that first one out of the way. But what's it like? What's his mentality like?
Yeah, and you've got the pressure of Sam Jones's mouth as well.
Oh, I mean, that carries its weight as well, doesn't it? But yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? No, Sam. Me and Sam have spoke about him. Sam's doing a great job with him. Exposure, his mouth, his opportunities, he's delivering. Dan doesn't feel that pressure. Let everybody do what they have to do. Comes with, if you want to be successful, you're gonna have people talking about you. If you want to be successful, you're gonna have more and more pressure put on you as you're going through the ranks. So you have to get accustomed to that and used to that straight away. Best way to be with it is not to let it affect you, and he's kind of like that. He's an easygoing character, but very, very driven, very, very disciplined, and very, very motivated. And I think that's why he's fitting so well in with the rest of the lads. It's a young stable, but it's a stable, like you said, they've all got the right mentality, and he's just another one that slots right into the jigsaw, so to speak.
100%. Well, look, sort of taking a 360 away from this fight week, there's been some huge fights made since we last spoke. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. Good fight. It's going to be a good fight, a good build-up. It's one of these fights. I think boxing's had a good, strong start to the year. Sort of picked up where last year left off in terms of momentum. We saw a lot of good fights last year. It looks like it's going to continue. It's a good time, but talk to me about this fight specifically. Devin Haney coming into this with his accomplishments, the undisputed tags, and what he's done, his body of work. Ryan Garcia, we know he's got a huge following. Fought against Javante at a catchweight, rehydration cause, and ultimately got beat, but a big name, a good fight. What do you make of it?
I think Bill Haney's a really, really clever guy. I met him out in San Francisco. He's clever. He knows the game. He's not just a dad that's a pushy dad or anything like that. He knows the game, and he's what his plan is for Devin. You can see, because he's obviously got the personality, but you can see to pick Ryan Garcia, I think is a perfect match for him, because Ryan Garcia, like you say, he's got the social media platform, he's got the awareness, he's got the screaming girls, he's got all that kind of thing. It's disrespectful to say that Ryan Garcia is like a YouTube boxer. I think that's what we used to say at the beginning, social media boxer. Yeah. When he first started, it was like, oh, there was this kid on Instagram. But then when you look at him and look at what he's done in his amateur career and the people he's fought, what he's been around, he's had about 200 fights.
3-3 with Devin in amateurs.
Yeah. So he's a legitimate fighter. And it's just that he happens to have a great profile and he understands the game. So Ryan Garcia, coming off of what he's done in his career, obviously the Tank defeat, Garcia to go into this fight straight away, I think that shows you what his intentions are. He's not messing about with the developing fights, those kind of fights anymore. He wants big names and big nights himself. So I think credit to both, but I think that for Devin Haney coming off a fantastic performance against Prograis, unbelievable. I mean, we was there, and
One of the best performances I've seen live.
to watch that live, I thought it was fantastic. And going into it, you're talking about a real nip and tuck fight, you know. To make it as one-sided as what he did, it was a boxing clinic. And when people say that Devin doesn't punch hard, he punches hard enough. You know,
Gets your attention.
Yeah, and it's the technique of his technique and his skills allows him to transfer the power that he has got to make it pay. And I just think ability-wise, I just think they're different leagues. I like Ryan Garcia. I think he's done really well. He's a good boxer. He can pop. He's fast and all that sort of thing. But his chin's always there to be tagged. And I think Devin's jab's going to tattoo him. And I actually fancy a Devin Haney stoppage.
It's going to be a good build-up and a good fight. But look, I'd be silly if I didn't talk about what's to come next week. A fight which, when I speak to Gareth Davis in particular, he says there's genuine jeopardy in this fight. Francis Ngannou, we've seen, I think, was it 8-10 rounds against Fury. There's only that of him. Ngannou's first 2 professional fights against the number 1 and potentially, I suppose, number 3, I would say. But wow, talk to me about next week, and a genuine banana skin there for AJ?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Listen, if you can, yes, you can. I'm one of those that believes that, listen, no matter what Fury says, he thought this was going to be an easy fight. We all did. Listen, I saw that clip of Ngannou on the pads with Mike Tyson, and I was like, oh my God.
And everyone did
my
it.
actual thought was, Fury can even just sit on the ropes, do the rope-a-dope, and just take the piss and go to work when he wants. That's what I thought was going to happen. Comes to fight night, completely different. From the minute that Ngannou shaped up, I thought, hang on a minute, it's better than what I thought. But what I'm trying to get to is, if he can drop Tyson Fury, he's got enough power to drop Anthony Joshua, right? That's facts, you know. If he can have long periods in a fight where he can outbox Tyson Fury and make him uncomfortable, then surely he can do that with AJ as well, from what we've seen in the past, if you're looking at bodies of work. Now Joshua, Ben Davison, Lee Wiley, they've got 10 rounds of boxing footage to watch and to dissect and to look at him. Anthony Joshua's not got the element of surprise that he's walking into, whereas we did, where we thought, we don't expect this guy to do anything, and all of a sudden, surprise, motherfucker, here you go. Right? And now you've got where you think that there's a huge gulf, so you are going to mentally be a little bit more dull. You can have AJ that's going to know what's in front of him, and he's going to be razor sharp, mentally razor sharp. So I think Joshua should beat him, because Joshua's pedigree, look at who he's beaten, look at who he's fought. People like to knock him, look at who he's fought. At the end of the day, it's a list of who in the top 15 over the last few years in boxing. You know, so you can't be average to have beaten all those guys. Yeah. Don't forget, he got up when he got dropped against Klitschko, right? Whatever's happened since, when he's been out or anything, he's proved he can do that. Maybe it's been a case of confidence, but I don't know. But bottom line is that his pedigree should show the fact that he wins. Can he knock him out? I don't know. I don't know about that.
That's the intriguing one, isn't it?
Because the thing is, for him, I don't think he knocks him out in one shot. I think AJ's combination punching can, but in order for him to get combinations off, he's going to have to be in range to get caught. And we saw with the Fury fight, Ngannou's not afraid to punch in between. And that could. Do you know what it is for me? Is the jeopardy in it for me is the range of Ngannou. He's got long ass arms, so AJ's got to get his shots off and get out again without getting tagged. You know, knocked off balance, hit on the top of their head. You know, having his equilibrium scrambled. So the jeopardy is there, and so if Ngannou was to knock him out, then I wouldn't be like super shocked. Would it be a shock in boxing? Of course it is. But you've got to look at it and say, well, is it a possibility because of the dynamics of the fighters, the assets that Ngannou's got? We all know that he can really, really punch. So
the confidence he has now as well.
Yeah, and, well, that's it. He's just gone 10 rounds now. Going into a fight, you can have all belief in the world that you can hang at that level. You can have all the belief in the world that you can do the 10 rounds. But if you've not done it, you don't actually know. Once you know, right, okay, his confidence and his just the experience from being in the ring with someone like Fury, he's going to take that and grow and develop as a fighter and go on. So I think it's an. Listen, I've been looking forward to this fight for a long time. I can't wait to see it. I'm not getting into it shouldn't be happening, all this sort of stuff. Listen, I thought at the time for Ngannou to fight Fury being heavyweight champion of the world, I thought it's a money grab, it's bollocks, it shouldn't be happening, 100%. But then after it's happened and you've seen what Ngannou's performance against Fury is, and AJ is not a world champion, then it's just a normal fight. Why not? Fair enough. Let's see how AJ goes on.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'll be there, so it's I can't wait. Dave, I'm looking. Look, really appreciate you catching up. We'll catch up next week as well in Saudi, and obviously after this fight with Dan. Good luck for this weekend. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, mate. Nice one.